So first thing we need to do is say, okay, I'm triggered, I'm emotionally triggered. And then once we get that, that's the most important step, is just to actually visually step outside of yourself. Just step right behind yourself, right outside of yourself, and watch what's going on. So it's kind of like, instead of being yourself, being the observer of yourself. So stepping outside and watching. And what's really interesting about that, if you've ever done it, is it's amazing how disproportionate the reaction is of yourself and the other person to the situation most of the time. So you're nodding. Have you tried this before? Have you tried this before? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Think of an example. So stepping outside, watching and going, wow, look at how upset I'm getting over, this thing about maybe the house or something, or look at how upset my partner is getting. And look at how, you can start to see it for what it is when you're observing it rather than when you are it. When you actually feel the emotion and you stay in it, you are the emotion. You become the anger, and then you pop. Pop meaning something happens. If you step outside, you detach yourself from the emotion, so you're not the emotion. Now you're in control of it. And you can kind of watch the scenario, which is interesting to say the least. And then if you really, really want to get really good at this, while you're stepping outside of yourself, ask yourself the first time you've ever felt that same emotion. So let's say your partner comes in and just starts yelling and getting angry. And you say to yourself, okay, I'm stepping outside. I know I'm emotionally triggered. I know I felt this way before. When is the first time I felt this way? And then go all the way back. And let's say at about 4, when you have some memories, you remember your dad always coming home, and first thing he did was start yelling, or start being angry, or start yelling about something. And it reminds you of the same thing. So it's like, oh, the first time I felt that way was when my dad used to always come home, the first thing he'd do is yell. And so when you can do that, you can realize that the situation with your partner isn't about your partner. It's about when you were 4 with your dad. And if you can recognize that, that's great, because now you have the source of that. Now it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be anything. But in this case, let's just say it's my dad used to come in and start yelling at everything, and this is what my partner's doing, and this is my dad in my partner's clothes. And so when we can do that, we can separate out that this is not what's happening now, and that's what that is. And then we can decide to sit with that emotion. So instead of reacting again, we're going to sit there at 4 years old and just sit with the anger. So you let your partner go off, and instead of reacting, getting defensive, anything, just sit with that anger. Because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to experience the anger you didn't let yourself sit with at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or whatever, because it was too painful.